Welcome back. So let's begin this session with a couple of very simple and very easy to understand array methods. And as always, at the beginning of new section, let's make sure you grab the starter file and open them in the VS Code like I did. And then open up the JavaScript file, which is this, okay? Which going to contain a lot of stuff as you can see here, but don't worry about this all, okay? We'll slowly build this in this section. And here we have the lecture part, right? So which is a bit more of the concepts themselves. Anyway, let's now talk about the array methods. Now before we start, let's just quickly talk about why arrays do actually have methods. Well, remember that methods are simple functions that can call on objects, and so basically they are functions attached to objects. And so if we have array methods, that means that array themselves are also objects. And so here array methods are simple functions that are attached to all arrays that we create in JavaScript. Now we'll learn why all arrays have access to this method in a later section when we talk about prototypal inheritance. But for now, I just want you to understand that arrays are objects and they get access to special built-in methods that we can essentially see as tool for arrays. So as I mentioned in this lecture, we are going to start by learning some very simple tools so that we can use on arrays. So let's start by defining a simple test array. So here we just write the code. So let's just say let array equals to, so we are writing a basic, right? So here we'll just say a, and the first method we are going to talk about this here is the slice method, and it is very similar to the slice method that was available on strings. So with the slice method we can extract the part of any array, but without changing the original array. So that's why it's called as slice. So let me just show you here console.log. Here we'll just say array dot slice of 2. So we need to go to terminal and just run the file, right? So as I've already did that, and we get this application here which we are going to build in the further sessions. Right now don't worry about this, and then we are going to inspect this page now, and we need the console. As you can see here, we have the array of 4. So it doesn't mutate the original array. Instead, this will return a new array. So a copy of an array, but only with the extended parts. So let me just show you here console.log. So this is our original array. So here we sliced only the first 2 parts, right? So the rest parts here we got. So this is the difference between original array and the array which we got sliced. Now we can define the end parameters as well. So let me just say here console.log array dot slice of 2 comma 4. So when we run this, as you can see here, it just slices, but here the end is not included in the output. So here the output will be the end parameter minus the beginning one. So which is the 4 minus 2. Here we got the rest of the 2 parameters. So here it is C and D. Okay. And the next one, just like in strings, we can define the negative begin parameter as well. So let me just show here console.log. Here we'll just say array dot slice of -2. As you can see here from the original array -2, which is the last 2 elements here. So basically you can just here define here last element as well, which is F, but we'll just keep it for now last 2. And now finally we can use this slice method to simply create a shallow copy of an array. For that we'll just say console.log array.slice of. As you can see here, we just created the shallow copy of any array. Right now we have our own array here, right? So we just created the shallow copy of it. And also we can do this in a similar way like which we did in the previous videos by using the spread operator. So here we'll just say console.log by using this spread operator. He will just say array. So when we run this, as you can see here, we get the same output. So the question is, you should use the spread operator as the slice method in order to create a shallow copy. Well, that's actually entirely up to you. So it's just a matter of personal preference. The only time you need to use the slice method here is when we want to chain multiple methods together, is calling one after the another. And then we do that, of course, later in this session. All right. So that is the slice method. Next up we have the very similar name which is called the splice. So let me just write here splice, and then here we have slice. Okay, and the splice method works in the most same way as slice, but the functional difference is that it does change the original array, so it mutates the array. So let me just show you here. Here we'll just say console.log array dot slice of 2. So when we run this, so let me just define here console.log. Okay, as you can see here now, it works as the same way in this case. And now if we declare our original array, now you can notice the difference now from our original array. Let me just say here. So right now our original array is this, but when we give this splice of 2, see here we get only the 4 elements and it removes from the original array, so it mutates. So when we call again the original array, it is left with all with these elements. So let's just turn this here off, and then we can here call out again console.log the negative element here as well. See here, when we declare here -1, which is the last element f, so it removes the f from the original element as well. Splice works this way. Okay. In case you want to learn more about it, you can use the MDN file. So which is this documentation. You can just go ahead and try all these different things. So there are multiple things you can try out and explore. So you can do multiple things using this splice. So you can do explore this page and get to know about it more. Okay. For now, coming back here. Next up, we have the thing called reverse here. So it is a simple one. So let's just restore our array here. So we'll just again write here, and also let's create a new variable in a wrong order. Let's say here let array of 2 here we'll just create, and then here in we'll just say, so we are basically writing in the wrong order. So we just created this right now. We'll just say console.log array of 2, which is the reverse one which we created, and then here we'll just say reverse. So yeah, we can't do this here multiple times, right? Here we'll just say reverse, as you can see here. Now, as you can see here, the string here which got reversed here, we got the output here. Okay, and also what's important to note here is that in fact the reverse methods does mutate the array. So let me just show you here. As you can see here, we just declared this is our original array. After we just reverse, so it mutates and it just changes to this as the original array right now. Okay, but now what happened to our original array, and we see that it remains in our original array. It is the first two elements. So the extracted elements are actually gone from the original array. So with this, we are done with the reverse. So as you once you understood this, so let's just, so next up we have a topic called concat. This one is used to concat two arrays. So let's just create a variable called letters, and letters will be the result of calling the concat method on arrays. So what we'll do here was we'll create a new constant letters, and then we'll just set this to array which is the first one. Okay, and then let's just concat of array 2, and then console log letters. When we do that, so let me just say here, as you can see here, it combines both the array 1 and array 2. It print outs all the elements in order, as you can see here. So we have the 10 first letters of the alphabets here. So the first array will be the one, and then which the method is called, and the second one is the one that we passed into the concat method. And once again we did this before in another way, remember. So we simply do this in example. Let me just show you here. Here we can just say console.log by using the spread operator here. So when we run this, as you can see here, we both get the same answer here. Okay, this gives us the exact same result, and it does not mutate of any involved arrays. So just the concat, which also doesn't mutate the original array here. All right, finally let's just join the method here one more, which is called join, and then let's just copy this and then paste it here. Let me just say here join. So it joins the alphabets that we have in the array. So let me just write here the code console.log. So let's just say letters dot join. So here we are using the hyphen here, as you can see. As you can see here, it joined the alphabets here. So your array toolset is so basically with this we are done covering the most of the array methods here. So your array tool set is rapidly growing here, and remember that you already know such as push, on shift, pop shift, index off on and includes from the intersection. So and includes with from the intersection. Now if you ever lose track of these different methods how they work, you can always come back to these videos, or of course you can check the documentation of MDN just like we did before. So no developer in the world knows all this by default, so sometimes I even have to look up this splice or the slice method works, because it's just too many methods to keep track of. But anyway, let's move on to the next video where we'll talk about the array methods to a whole new next level. So with that, we are just done here.